Yeah, that's a good reason to quit.
Morning, everyone. How are you all today? Good. Okay, so starting off, we are going to have Eric come on up and represent our marketing department.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? All right, I will be brief here. So the sales and marketing team, what we have so far is we have 5 new move-ins for the month of May. And then for the month of June, we have 6 more new move-ins coming in, which is great. It's exciting, yes. And I just want to thank you all for being so welcoming and polite to new residents that are coming in, and also along tours as well. It helps people feel a real sense of community, and that's what I love about the break. All right, like I said, I'll be short, and we're done.
Roger with Plant Ops here for the Breakers. I'd like to start out by saying good morning and glad to see everybody's here. Well, for the second week of June, what we have lined up is an apartment that's going to be communicated out. There will be a flyer or a memo sent out. And what we're going to be looking for and testing is your smoke detectors, making sure that there's no fall risks in your apartment. We're going to be checking those little rubber door stops at the front of your door. If they need to be replaced, we'll replace that. And just an overall inspection of the apartment. We also fixed the 24th and 31st floor windows in the laundry room. We also plan on installing new washers and dryers on the 16th floor by the end of the week, so that's exciting, and hopefully we'll be able to roll that out. Get into questions. If you have any concerns or
Loader out on the 7th and never replaced it, but one on the 16th. Are you taking that off, or are you replacing it?
she's inquiring about the front load washers that was not replaced on the 7th floor, and she's also wanting to know when we do the 16th floor if we're going to have load there. At this time, no, but I am thinking about leaving that front load washer there until we can order new ones. There is about a 4 to 6 month delay on commercial washers for us. It's prepared. Yes. We'll have to double check on that. Yep. Go ahead.
Washing machine on the 31st floor, all the way in the corner, fourth one in.
So once so he's asking about the washing machine on the 31st floor that has been out of service for some time. Once we replace the washers and dryers on the 16th, we're gonna grab whatever good ones we have left and put them up there.
Or it needs to be adjusted, closed properly.
The first washer, as you come in the door on the 31st floor laundry, has very low water flow. Can that be repaired in any way? Can you increase the power of the water?
She's asking another question about the 31st floor washing machine. Some of them, it appears that might have low water pressure. That's something that we can look into.
Thank you.
Reason why it's taking long for the hot water.
Emergency repairs, the past couple months. Every time we make a repair, we have to make an adjustment somewhere else. At this point, we're going to continue to make the repairs as needed and make those adjustments also. Keep in mind, in a building of this size, with the limited amount of pumps that we have, it might take a couple minutes. I understand some wait a little bit longer than others. Some residents get it right away. Others, unfortunately, have to wait for a little bit. But like I said before, anytime we do repairs, emergency shutdowns, it does affect the entire system, no matter if it's on the cold side or on the hot side. It'll affect everything. Go ahead. My favorite topic here at the Breakers is the elevators.
They're upstairs and they have to. There's one elevator. And you can't really answer them. You don't need.
So, I'm going to touch a little bit on elevator safety. That's one way the residents can help us out. When I notice an elevator that's full, and yet we still have residents trying to get into these full elevators, it does create safety. It's not the residents' responsibility to manage who gets in and out of the elevators. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, if we be a little bit more patient, more than you guys already have been, into getting in and out of the elevators, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, you know that.
Oh,
I know you're trying not to, but you know what? Like everybody else.
Right.
And whether we're on it or not, or there's.
I'll wrap up with this for the elevators and the question and answers portion for myself, but we are looking into this different softwares, right? And it's also for my responsibility for the building is also to make sure that everything's running and it's running at a cost-effective manner. So when we have Multiple breakdowns, yes, we're on top of it. We're on it right away, especially when it comes to the elevators. So with that, you know,
Can I say something else?
go ahead.
Oh, I forgot. We were told that there was
Handle the packages and what time they're being delivered, but that's definitely something that could be addressed. Okay? Yes. Hand it off to the next manager. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christina. I am the Director of Hospitality and Resident Services. Actually, I'm going to be Antonio for a second. He is downstairs. He's working on prepping for dinner already and couldn't be here today, so he asked me to share this information with all of you. He wanted me to report that the menu chat is scheduled for June 15th from 11:30 to 12:30. And he has scheduled a brunch for Father's Day. There'll be a memo to follow, and he's also working on the July 4th barbecue. He heard, we shared today during our managers meeting this morning, all the wonderful things that you all shared about the Memorial Day barbecue, so he's already started working on the July 4th barbecue. I guess the ribs were a big hit, so he talked to us this morning about upping his order for the ribs for the 4th of July. So I'm going to put on my own hat. Yes, Mr. Rossi.
Yes, thank you. Not by me.
Folks are saying there was soup. I'll check. Two salads, they said. I'll check because I'm not sure. I wasn't here, so I can share that with him.
The coleslaw yesterday was really, what I wanna know is, maybe it could be more fantastic during the regular times. Whatever recipe they used yesterday should be carried.
So Sherry is saying that she would like the fantastic coleslaw and potato salad from yesterday to be served during regular dinner.
Yeah.
I will share that with him for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to put on my own hat. First is the concern reports. I do receive several concern reports each month, but I just want to reiterate that in the mail room above that little table where the telephone is are concern reports. These are for you all to fill out regarding anything in the building, concerns about any portion of your living environment, concerns regarding a neighbor, anything you want me to know, or for housekeeping or maintenance or dining. I take these, I review them, and I share them with the department in which they need to be shared with. If you have a concern, please fill them out, turn them in at the front desk. I make copies and give them to whatever department, and then I follow up on them, and then I reach back out to you and let you know that it's been taken care of or whatever additional information needs to be sought. Laundry rooms. I know there was some discussion about laundry rooms. I received an email this last week about some items that were left in the laundry room on the 7th floor. If those are your items, please let me know. If you leave items in the laundry room and they're there for more than a week, the housekeeping staff is going to alert myself or Michelle, and we're going to take those items and secure them. If you lost them, reach out to myself or Michelle and we will get them to you, but we don't want lost items or baskets full of clothes or forgotten items sitting in the laundry room for days at a time. So reach out to us if you've forgotten them. If you see items sitting in the laundry room for days at a time, please reach out to us so that we can secure those items for the resident who've forgotten them. If you have any concerns regarding items in the laundry room, fill out a concern report. School of Lifelong Learning, today we have Nurse Alex from Concierge today here in the showroom. Monday, June 6th, you've all received the flyer regarding a car wash, weather permitting, out on the patio. We're gonna wash walkers and wheelchairs and have ice cream and just have a great time outside. We have lots of people going to be out there to help us all. June 8th, the DMV will be here. There's a sign-up sheet back there. You have to sign up for your time. June 14th, Pest Management will be here. We're going to talk about bed bugs and other spring, summer pests that we can be infested with. The election. Several people have asked about voting. We are going to be a voting site. So you will be able to vote downstairs on the first floor on June 28th for the primary, and in November we will be a voting site. And next year too. Downstairs on the first floor. It'll all be set up. You'll know where to, there'll be lots of signage, I promise. Lockers. Some of you may have noticed that we are going through the building and cleaning out the leftover lockers, people who are no longer here. We're labeling them. They all have a tag on them. Each resident is to have one locker. If you see someone who has broken a seal, because all the lockers that are not assigned have a seal on them, if you break a seal, we know which lockers are not assigned. George will be reaching out to you if you break a seal on a locker to remove those items, because you're only permitted to have one locker and all lockers are assigned through George. If you need a locker moved to a bigger one or a different floor or a upper or a lower based on your needs, please let George know and he will do the best he can to accommodate. On Sunday, a memo went out regarding the smoking locations. There's a location on the 3rd floor, north corner, and on the south side of the front door. Per the city of Chicago, smoking is not permitted within 15 feet of a entrance of a building. So please adhere to that policy from the city. And that's all I have. Does anybody have questions? Eleanor.
I've got the library. All these folks are still waiting. They were told soon. Is soon gonna be. That wall has to be painted, and we're waiting for the wall. We still have. All I wanna know is when.
In terms of the rest of the renovation of the library, I do not have a date for that. As soon as I get a date from the renovation committee from corporate, you will have that date.
I would think that looking at the library when you're very important. And I think that should be pushed to court. Push us, look at the breakers. But when you're looking at the library, when you walk in, I love the library, but that's one of the reasons. But it looks awful, and that for the touring groups, for Kristen's sake, for Eleanor's sake, I think that should be pushed. I don't know what, I think that should be pushed for pushing's sake.
So the concerns are regarding the library. I will work with Roger to see if we have that paint still. If we have that paint, we may be able to paint that wall the same color that it is for now. If we don't, we may have possibly a white that we can just put in that section to at least get that so we can get that library completely renovated. It may be just something that would fix it so that it looks presentable for the time being, until they can actually come in and start doing the full renovations of the library. of Motor Vehicles or the Secretary of State is going to be here, and they'll do driver's license or state ID renewals. Not the secure ID. That they can do here.
List, it says, private over, you can get a new. And they are gonna take.
Just for the, you can, when the DMV is here, you can get a renewal, but they will not give you, if you don't already have the secure ID, they cannot give you a secure ID when they come in. They will be able to handle the state IDs when they come in on the June 8th. The question is, what is a secure ID for? As far as I understand, the secure ID is so that you can travel. So that, because I kind of know, but I have a passport, so it doesn't really affect me because I have a passport to travel in and out. Other questions on anything else? I'm going to throw it over to Molly.
Thank you, Christina. Hello, everyone. My name is Molly. I'm the Director of Resident Programming. So I'll start off with that DMV stuff. So the Secure ID, Real ID, there's a couple different names. From what it sounds like is that airports are going to start requiring, if you're going through an airport, to have that type of secure or Real ID. They keep pushing the date back. Originally it was supposed to be, I think, like summer of 2020, but during the pandemic they keep pushing it back. So I don't even think it's this summer that if you were flying to Texas or Delaware that you would need that type of ID. But because those IDs are supposed to be so secure and so safe for airport's sake, they will not do them on our site. So if you just need a new state ID, a renewal driver's license, I think they can even do vehicle registration, that they can do here. Vera?
Well, I am planning to travel.
I can look it up after the meeting when the new date for the whole Real ID, Secure ID is, but as far as I know, it's not about to take place. They keep pushing it back, and so we can look that up after the meeting if anybody else would like to know. She asked in August, would she be okay to travel without a Real ID? We can look that up together at the end of this meeting. Okay, somebody said October 1st, somebody said maybe next year, so when I have a phone or something, I can look that up after. Sherry? Sherry mentioned you could use a passport or the Real ID.
I don't have a card.
Okay, then we'll talk more about Real ID. Stay after the meeting and come see me. But while I'm here again, Molly, Director of Resident Programming, I'm going to talk about programming. So, yes, in June we have 5 Wednesdays, so Shantae has 5 wonderful trips for you all. Tomorrow, being June 1st, we are going to the Waterfront Cafe. We have a long list of people already, but if you haven't been there, I think we should try to go back again soon because it is just right north of us on Sheridan Road, a beautiful restaurant, the Waterfront Cafe, very good food. On the 8th next week, we're going to the Kit Kat Club. June is Pride Month, so we're going to go celebrate some Pride Month at the Kit Kat Club. On the 16th, a Thursday, not a Wednesday, June 16th on a Thursday, we are going back to the CSO for open rehearsal. So we just went for an open rehearsal at the CSO. There were about, I think, 6 people on the wait list that never got to go. Those 6 people have been contacted and they will be attending the open rehearsal for this time. The sign up I think we'll be out, I want to say next week for the CSO for anybody else that would like to go. Even if you went before, you're welcome to go again. Different music, still by Ricardo Moody. And then on the 22nd, we're going to the Botanic Gardens. On the 29th, we are going to take a trip to the movie theater. There's a wonderful new Elvis movie coming out. We're also going to go to the Garden Center in the morning. And we might also reschedule a couple of our trips that have been canceled due to weather, such as the Lincoln Park Zoo. We're kind of looking at options for that date. So then going on to other wonderful things, Mary Ellen Estes, she's not here today, she's on a vacation, but she has her new book, Loving Life at the Breakers, coming out. If you read her first book, Meet Your Neighbors, she had 43 residents in that book she featured. This one, she has 41 residents, all living in her building that she featured in this new book. So about the middle of June, she will be selling that book again, Loving Life at the Breakers. It'll be $25. The money all goes to the Holiday Fund. So she wrote this book herself, all about residents here, and then she sells it to contribute to the Holiday Fund. On June 17th, again for Pride Month, we are going to have Drag Queen Bingo here. Big hit the last couple years. Mark your calendars. On June 21st, it is the longest day of the year, so we will have our annual Longest Day fundraiser. If you remember the past 2 years, we did a wine and chocolate grab. We're going to do that again. And then on the 30th, we're going to have Beer Club with Eric and myself. So second beer. And then just a couple other little things I want to mention. So starting with bad news first, and then we'll go to the good news. So our seamstress, Shauna, she's had some stuff happen in the family, and so she will not be here this Friday and maybe the next couple Fridays. If you had clothes with Shauna, she worked all weekend to do those repairs, and I have them in my office. I will be giving them out to the people, but then she will not be here the next couple Fridays, just due to family reasons. And then on to a piece of great news. So I don't think he's here in our audience today, but Robert James, he is a resident here at the Breakers. He is a veteran, he was in the Army, very wonderful man. So this Saturday, the Cubs have a game at 12:20, and he is going to be their hero of the game. Oh. Yes. You see him, please congratulate him. We're working to get everything set up so we can have a lot of photos, get all of that stuff ready so we can share it with you all afterwards. This Saturday. So Robert and a couple of his family members and I, we're going to go to the game. He'll get to go out on the field, not throwing out the first pitch, but he'll be recognized as the hero of the game. Steve? Game in the video room. The one thing I'll say is I don't know if I think they might do it during a commercial break, unfortunately. So I don't know if that part of the game is always televised. I think it kind of depends on the timing. So we can show the Cubs game in hopes that his part of the hero of the game is shown here. But if not, then I'll take a lot of pictures and videos to come share afterwards.
That's nice.
Very, very exciting news. Please congratulate him if you see him.
That is the weekend.
That is this Saturday, June 4th. So the Cubs actually have a double header this weekend. And so there's a 12 o'clock game and then a 6 o'clock game. He will be honored at the 12 o'clock game. Yes, Eleanor.
Do you know if we're going to the movie Saturday anytime? I'm particularly
Okay, Eleanor asked if we have any Saturday trips coming up in June. She wants to see the Downton Abbey movie. We do have a Saturday trip coming up. I'm trying to think of what day it is. I think it's our third Saturday. Shantae, do you have an answer?
Yes, I don't know, I'm also working on getting that movie to show here at the Breakers.
So if you couldn't hear her, Shantae said once she already has it on her queue, I'm guessing for when the DVD releases, that will get it straight away to the Breakers. So if you're interested in seeing Downton Abbey, we'll get it on DVD if we can't get out to the theater. Eleanor.
I might as well each year while it was on Channel 11. We have those books.
Okay, Eleanor just said that if you're interested in the Downton Abbey movie, they also have the Downton Abbey books in the library. So if you feel like reading them, go check them out. Questions? No, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Melanie.
Michelle from housekeeping.
Everybody, Michelle Billing, housekeeping manager. Better?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. So I'm Michelle, housekeeping manager, and what's that? Okay. I just want to start with, we've mentioned a few times the window washing has been pushed back. The new scheduled date is 9th of June. And as soon as we know what's going on with that, we've been putting up the door signs as promised, and also the signs on the washing machines on the laundry rooms. About all I have right now. Are there any questions? Questions? Oh, Chris?
How come there would not be no housekeeping?
All of our housekeepers here. So unless somebody's on vacation, and I have prior notice, I will send something out and let everybody know. If it's like a last minute call out, there's no way for me to get any information to anyone other than I will put a phone call out if can't be. Holiday, yes. So we would do a housekeeping coupon in lieu of the cleaning.
Right. And another thing about the coupon. I noticed that now they're only good for a month. They used to be a year.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you,
Well,
Michelle.
you.
Okay, I'm back. Wrapping up the meeting, but I will say I just looked up the Real ID or Secure ID requirements, and straight off the Illinois government webpage, the Real ID or Secure ID goes into effect May 3rd of 2023. So not even this May, we have a whole nother year. So you should not need to worry about the Real ID or Secure ID yet. So you have a whole nother year. But thank you all for coming out. Have a good day.